Hey, you guys, and welcome to American Culture. So, today's channeled message is fantastic for me and for you. God let me know that Tuesday is the day. There is no black magic, nobody out there can do anything to change that. This is the moment. The portal, the door, all the stuff is open. It's available to you. It's happening. The thing is, you've heard this before. You've had those dates in your mind, and you've watched things, you've seen things, you've done the, and it's all said to, oh, don't do that. Don't get your hopes up and all that. And God's like, no, stop right now. The reason why those times when he told you it's going to happen in 3 days, it's going to happen in 48 hours or whatever, and you just felt that and it didn't quite take place was because you never really showed up as who God needed you to be or intended for you to be in order to be able to receive. I want you guys to think with me for a brief moment. You're going out on a blind date and you tell the person that you're going to be wearing a red dress. However, you decide to change into a blue dress. Why? Could be because you didn't like the red one, whatever else, this or that. So you might do that kind of undercover so that you can walk in and see if you like the person, you scope them out first. But either way, you don't tell your date that this is what's happening. And so you show up in a blue dress and they say, you know what? No, thank you. Because they truly understand that the reason why you didn't show up in the red dress was because you wanted to be in control of the situation. You might have wanted to look and see and do all this other stuff if you liked him first. In other words, you wanted to still have control over the situation instead of meeting your equal there as the version of you told them to anticipate. They anticipated the red dress lady. The blue dress lady is not what they want. And God was like, that's essentially the same thing that happens with us. We get these dates. He tells us it's going to be in 3 days, it's going to be in 7 days, it's going to be in 10 days, do this in 21 days, but we just don't show up the way we say we're going to. In 10 days, you need to be an author. You need to have started writing the book. In 10 days, you needed to have already put out the podcast. In 10 days, you already needed to have forgiven yourself. In 10 days, you already needed to have switched the way that you eat. In 10 days, you needed to have broken the habit. And it's that person that God is anticipating to show up. The version of you that's still holding on to this idea that I need to be in control. I have to be the one to get it right. The whole 9 yards is not what he's looking for. He can't do anything with that. And so, like I said, for myself, it's happened quite a few times. God's like, in 3 days, 5 days. I'm like, oh, okay, where is it? The day would come. I never received the result that God had promised me. And ironically, none of this stuff made me stop believing. So that's how you guys know that this is definitely a lesson type of situation, not a you need to stop and you need to quit and you need to reevaluate. Like it just feels like you missed the mark. An interesting thing happened though when I was in prayer and receiving this message. God directed me to Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 13 and Isaiah chapter 2, really verse 2, but kind of the whole thing. And those two chapters are together. It was like in Jeremiah, God was saying, hey, just acknowledge that you do stupid crap that keeps you sinning. Just that's it. I'm not trying to punish you, not trying to harm you. I just want you to acknowledge where you are in this present moment. Be present with me and acknowledge that you still do stuff that indicates you want to be in control, that indicates you want to dictate the flow of this. Stop doing that. Come back to me, come back to my shelter, let me do it. And then Isaiah, the chapter 2, it was basically pointing to this is the mountaintop you're going to be at if you just do that. If you just become obedient to my word, you will get here. It's all about destination. And so that to me was like, oh, this is true. No, he's really saying Tuesday is the day. And God's given me the direction to, again, this is my job. 4:44 on the clock as they say that. This is my job. 222 on the fridge, the timer on the fridge. So yeah, God has basically told me that This is my job. This is my purpose. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm cultivating that better. He's told me that I needed to have written 2 chapters on the book. He told me to make sure my nails are done. So I don't know who I have to talk to where this is going to matter, but they're done. And I'm finally at a space where I'm 100% obedient to what he's saying. The last part of this, you guys, is what kind of kept a lot of us out of that divine time thing when he's telling us what days we're supposed to be doing this. We were looking to become professionals in a world that doesn't really offer that. And God's like, no, you needed to be purposeful. You needed to do things that were purposeful and with good intentions. And that's kind of like the formula to success. But you were trying to be professional, and the world doesn't really offer that. And it wasn't until, last week, and the guy stuck his hand down my dress, and not my dress, I'm wearing a dress right now, but my scrubs. And I realized I'm not dealing with anything professional. I told my job about this. I did not hear another word from them. Nobody called me. Nobody texted, hey, this is what we decided to do. Just took me off the schedule. Want to brush it under the rug, because for them, I didn't give them enough of an emotional response. Like, people question, what was I wearing? What was I doing? How did you end up there? I mean, it's just like, did we forget that the guy grabbed my shoulders and stuck his hand out? Like, did that not, I'm confused here. Did that not happen, you guys? And I just realized, like I said a while ago, that I can't go into these houses and be professional because they don't really honor the fact that I'm a nurse. They kind of try to turn it into like a babysitting type of thing or whatever else. Also, my job, that's just very unprofessional of them to not even follow up with me and to somehow need some big emotion, some big hurt in order to believe my story. And that's the thing. That was really the major block, you guys. We would run into a truth that's uncomfortable to us, right? And we would almost need the truth to prove it's the truth, or else we turn it into a lie, because I'd rather deal with you being a liar than having to really fully grasp the fact that now I have a family whose grandpa has the potential to sexually harass any other nurse that goes in there. Like, that's grounds for saying we can't offer you services under care. As my job, they should have reported that to the police. Like, that's on them to kind of report those types of things and go from there. But again, they don't want to deal with what comes with living in the truth. So they'd rather turn it into some type of lie. And I want you to think about that. When God was telling you, it's 2 days from now, it's 3 days from now, it's a week from now. Although you wanted the rewards that came from that, did you really want to live in the truth of who you were going to be at that point? Obviously not. You didn't. You're just kind of hoping that the day comes and you get a miraculous reward. And sometimes there's a little bit of relief when you didn't get it, when you didn't win the lottery, when you didn't meet that person, when you didn't. It's like, oh, okay, I can return back to what I know, which is waiting. So there's a little bit of comfort that came along with all of these like deadlines and promises of God just kind of bypassing you, because you are actually in so many ways comfortable in living in this state of deception. And that's why, like I say in Jeremiah 3:13, God is calling us out of that. He's like, don't lie to yourself anymore. You're doing stuff that definitely does not lead to righteousness or even right standing with God. Not to say that you're a terrible human being. Nobody's really here to judge and evaluate that right now. We just want you to stop. we just want you to stop and go back to God, sit underneath his wings, be obedient, and make it to the mountaintop on Tuesday. So that's it. A lot of us, we've been called out of the life where we can't be who we're supposed to be. Like I said, for me at work, there's no sense of professionalism. There's no purpose in working in these people's houses like that. I was staying very disconnected because it was a comfort zone that's no longer comfortable, obviously, when you're damn near having a heat stroke and someone's trying to grab your, not trying, but actually grabbing your boob. It's not a good thing. It's time to move away from that. It's time to move away from any of the addictions and any of the stresses and all of the other, problems and challenges that you're having, and just kind of for the next 3 days, sit with God. Do what he tells you to do. If it's writing, if it's singing, if it's reading, if it's fixing yourself up, if it's eating, do those things so that you show up on Tuesday as who God is anticipating you to be. Not the person who needs to be in control, not the person who's still sinning and disconnected, but the obedient one who came prepared with the material God needed you to have in order to meet that energy. So I'm telling you, the channel messages today, Tuesday is a great day. Fantastic, life-changing, door-opening, birds singing type of day. Get into the mood of receiving that moment right now. But what it's going to require is your full obedience to God. 100%. Write the thing, say the thing, do the thing, be the person that he needs you to be. And you guys, I promise you, that's it. That's it. So anybody who's reading this, or not reading it, but watching this, please come back on Tuesday and tell me how fantastic things were for you. And I'm talking to a very specific group who is done with the disconnection, who is done with making their way in a world that they're not supposed to be making a way in. Like, they're not. And who is ready and prepared to show up as the obedient one that God is anticipating. Don't change the dress because you want to be in control of the circumstance. No, just honor what you said. You're going to show up in red. Honor what God said. Honor what you said. I'm going to do what God told me to do. That's it. Have a blessed day, you guys.